Good day and happy and blessed New Year, everyone. I am Mr. Raimundo R. Ibo Jr. For today's presentation, I am going to discuss the meaning of trafficking in persons, the related laws and policies on these crimes, and the third is the current situation of the subject crime in our jurisdiction, and fourth, the latest government plans and programs to prevent and suppress these crimes. And lastly, I will discuss my comments and suggestions on the said government plans and programs. And now, I will discuss the related laws and policies on this crime. We have here the local laws and international laws. And for the local, we have here the Republic Act 9208, which is amended by Republic Act number 10364, or the expanded Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act of 2012. And for the international laws, we have here the Universal Human Rights and the Palermo Protocol. And now I will discuss the meaning of trafficking in persons. Here, I illustrated the trafficking in persons like a COVID virus because it is inimical and detrimental to human dignity and national development. It is also illegal and prohibited under the law. And some acts and omissions in this case are considered violation of human rights. And this case was also considered as crimes against humanity pursuant to Article 7, Rome Statute of International Criminal Courts. And now, let's discuss the three elements of the trafficking in persons. The three elements are as follows: the acts, means, and purposes. For the acts, the same is committed via means of recruitment, obtaining, hiring, providing, transportation, transfer, harboring, offering, maintaining receipts of persons with or without its consent, and within or across national border. By means, it is committed by force, deception, abuse of power or position by the authorities, threat, taking advantage, and receiving payments or benefits from the supporter or traffickers. And for the purposes, remember the word "precips," which means prostitution, removal of organs, exploitation, slavery, involuntary servitude, forced labor, sales of organ. And this crime is committed by a friendly person or the accomplice, accessories. And it is special aggravating circumstances. It is committed by the syndicate or group of traffickers. And this crime is qualified if it is committed by the relatives of the victims, law enforcer, military, and the victim dies or becomes insane. Okay? And remember, there are different forms of the trafficking in persons. First, domestic servitude, sex trafficking, forced marriage, forced labor, bonded labor, and lastly, the child labor. And according to the international study, there are two factors in committing the TIP. We have the push factors and pull factors, which is the motivational. Under the push factors, there are gender or other discrimination, lack of education, inequalities in labor market, conflict and war, human rights violation, and unemployment. For pull factors, we have the false promises such as high salary, quality of life, good working conditions, economic crisis, and this for communities such as the refugees. Now, let's talk about the current situation of the trafficking in persons in the Philippines. According to the 2020 Trafficking in Persons Report, Philippines issued by the U.S. State Department, Philippines was ranked as #1 in the Trafficking in Persons Report after substantial report. And there are 10 million Filipinos work abroad in 170 countries, and 3% of them are without valid or legal contracts. There are a sudden increase of victims of sex trafficking, labor trafficking in numerous industries, and Philippines is also considered as one of the largest known source of online sexual exploitation of children. And there are 1,443 victims of sex trafficking compared to 2,953 victims in 2018. And also, the Philippines is considered as the hotspots of this case, including the Luzon and Visayas, and the other provinces such as Iligan, Lapu-Lapu, Pampanga, Quezon City, Malabon, Pasig, Taguig, and Caloocan. And there are increase of the alleged bribery cases to facilitate illegal departures for overseas workers. And now, let's proceed with the government plans and programs. In order to prevent this case or crimes, the government created the Interagency Council Against Trafficking. They are the responsible for the good implementation and supervision of the policies related to trafficking in persons. They are also tasked to create and enhance the said policy. It is headed by the DOJ as the chairperson and the DSWD as the co-chairperson. And we have here the other agencies, the DFA, which the primary concern is to regulate the efficient implementation of e-passport system to prevent the incidence of trafficking through the use of fraudulent documents. And the DSWD, which implements the rehabilitative and protective programs for trafficked persons. And we have here the DOLE, or Department of Labor, which ensures the strict implementation and compliance with the rules and guidelines relative to employment of persons locally and abroad. And we have here the DOJ. The task is to ensure the prosecution of persons accused of trafficking, and the Bureau of Immigration. They are tasked to strictly administer and enforce immigration and aliens administration laws. And the Philippine National Police, who undertakes surveillance, investigation, and arrest of individuals of persons suspected to engage in trafficking. The DILG also, and the Commission on Filipinos Overseas, and the local government units to facilitate and monitor the documentation of cases related to TIP within their areas of jurisdictions. And upon evaluation, the following is my comments and suggestion. First, strategic management and approach, including the supervision and monitoring of the Philippine borders, should be conducted. Second, strong and effective counter-trafficking in persons measures should be prepared and implemented. Third, enhanced and effective security protocols should also be implemented. Fourth, close coordination between the national government and other concerned agencies involved in the implementation and supervision of the programs and policies related to trafficking in persons should be maintained. Lastly, universal and national database should be prepared for easy reference and verification and validation of the person's identity. And we have here the references for your guide also in the future. And that's all for now. Thank you, and God bless you all.